Hi guys, my name is Saniso and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about home office expenses. The reason I'm doing this video is because since COVID, everyone now is, not everyone, most people are now working from home. If they're not entirely working from home, they're doing a hybrid situation. So let's talk home office expenses. What are they and how do you claim for them? Okay, what does SARS look for? What is the criteria? Before I get into this video, guys, I'd like for you to please subscribe, like, or something just to help the channel reach more people. I simplify tax here for small businesses and individuals. So if that is your thing, then stay tuned. Right, home office expenses. Okay, how does it work? With home office expenses, guys, one, the space that you are using as a home office, it must be regularly used as a home office, and it must be exclusively used as a home office. Very, very important. Now, by regularly used as a home office, what do I mean? I mean more than 50% of your work. In other words, if you work 5 days a week, then at least 3 days of that week must be from home in order for you to claim for home office expenses. Right? This doesn't apply to commission earners. This is just people who have a regular 9 to 5, right? Now, the exclusive part, guys, is very important, because what's happened in the past is people will take their dining room table, work from it, and then want to claim home office expenses. It would be nice if it was like that, but unfortunately it's not like that. Your home office expenses must be exclusively used as a home office. So in other words, it mustn't be a dining room table today and then be a home office tomorrow. It mustn't be a bedroom today and be a home office tomorrow. Unfortunately, SARS, that disqualifies your home office, if I can put it like that. If you ask me, that's a bit unfair, because I mean, how many people actually have just an empty room where they can just change it into a home office? Hardly any. But anyway, those are the rules that SARS has, unfortunately, and there's nothing we can do about it. Oh, by the way, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes just to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, now your space must be equipped for home offices. In other words, if SARS says that take pictures of that place, then there must be at least a desk, your laptop or computer, things like that. You can't now, when SARS says that please take pictures of your home office, you give them an empty room, or a room that just has a chair or a couch. That will be a bit dodgy. Also, SARS has said that if you're an employee, right, and you spend most of your time at a client's place, you can't claim for home offices. An example of this is, there are companies, especially auditing firms, accounting firms, they'll have a hybrid. Maybe they'll have a hybrid, maybe 2 days in the office, 3 days at home. But then, because you're an auditor, most of the times you're going to spend your time in the client's premises, not your home. You can't claim. So SARS is saying that if you spend most of your time at a client and not in your home office at home, then you can't claim for home office expenses. Another big requirement that SARS is always asking for is permission to work from home from your employer. I know it's sort of like, but why would I work from home if I have not had permission? But for whatever reason, SARS normally requires confirmation. In other words, a letter from your employer saying that, dear so and so, you are allowed, I don't know, I'm just making an example, you are allowed to work from home on this and this and this and these dates. And in the past, with the clients that I've worked with, SARS normally asks that the letter be addressed to you. In other words, sometimes in a company they will send that generic email that says that from 1st June 2023, everyone is allowed to work from home from Monday to Wednesday. I'm making an example. SARS is not looking for that generic email. They want something that is addressed to you. So if that is one of those, if you are in that situation, then I think it would make sense to go to your HR and ask them to write a a letter that is addressed to you. I don't think it would be a problem if you are already working from home and if you were given permission to do so. Another thing that is not allowed that people often confuse is capital expense. You can't claim for capital expenses. Now, what are typical capital expenses that people mistakenly claim for? The payments on the bond. The payments on the bond, guys, you can only claim for the interest part. So the payment of your bond is made of two parts: the payment of the capital part and the payment of the interest part. The capital part you can't claim for. The interest part you can claim for, but you still need to apportion it for your home office. In other words, if you live in a 100 square meter house and 50%, I'm making an example, is a home office, the interest part of your bond is 5,000 rand, which means you can only claim 2,500 rand, which is 50% of the interest you're paying on your bond. Another thing that is very important is to make sure that the expenses that you are claiming for are incurred in that particular tax year. So you can't backdate and be like, oh, in December whatever year I paid this. No, it has to be for that particular year. So for instance, the tax season that we are submitting for now is from the 1st of March 2022 to February 2023. So whatever you're claiming for needs to have been an expense that was incurred between those months, March 2022, February to 2023. Very, very important. Now I'm just going to give a few examples of the home office expenses that you can claim for. I'm going to read them out. You can claim for rent for the premises. Again, you need to apportion. Interest on bond. Again, you need to apportion. Repairs, not maintenance, guys. Repairs. What is the difference between repairs and maintenance? Repairs is when you're fixing something that is broken. In other words, I don't know, your garage door is broken, you fix it. But a maintenance is when you, I don't know, put in a new shower. Your previous shower was working perfectly fine, but you just decided, you know what, I just want to give my shower a facelift. That is a maintenance, and you don't claim for that. And the reason you don't claim for maintenance is because it increases the value of the house. So anything that increases the value of the house, if you had maybe a steel garage door and now you want the automatic one, I'm just making an example, that is a maintenance. It increases the value of the house. It wasn't broken. There was nothing broken. You're just doing it to increase the even if you're doing it because you feel like now you can afford, you want something more fresh, more nicer and whatever, but that increases the value of the house, so you can't claim for that, right? Rates and taxes, you can claim for that. Again, you apportion. Cleaning, you can claim for that. Again, you apportion. Other expenses that are connected with the premises, whatever you can think of. If SARS doesn't allow it, they will tell you. Phones, unfortunately you can't claim for your phone. Only commission earners can do that. So if you're making calls when you're home, unfortunately SARS doesn't allow you to claim for it. Stationery, again, you can't claim for stationery. Only commission earners can do that. Again, that's another thing that SARS is saying no to. You can claim for wear and tear on your office equipment. SARS has a guide on how to calculate wear and tear on office equipment, so that's something that you can look at, or you can just consult a professional if you're unsure. Lastly, guys, on home office expenses, something that I want to mention that may not have been shared with you in the past, or maybe I may have not shared in the previous video that I did on home office expenses. I need you to know that when you claim home office expenses on your primary residence, a primary residence is a house that you've bought in order to live in. In other words, not a house that you bought as an investment property that you're renting out, a house that you bought in order to live in with your family or by yourself, but a house that you bought, right? It's normally referred to as a primary residence. And the reason for tax purposes, and the reason for this is because when you sell that house, for capital gains tax purposes, you have a deduction of 2 million rand, which is nice, by the way. So on the first 2 million rand gain you made on the sale of that house, you do not pay tax. You don't pay capital gains. So why am I telling you this? The reason I'm telling you this is because if you use a part of your house for carrying on trade, because now if you're claiming home office expenses, which means you are carrying on trade on that home office in a way, even though you are a salaried employee. Your house is normally regarded as now tainted. It's just a term that SARS uses. It's not that your house is dirty or there's not something wrong with it. No, it's just that your primary residence is now regarded as tainted. And the reason for this is because remember that 2 million deduction that you're going to get for capital gains tax, it's now going to be apportioned. So you're not going to get all of it, because remember, you got a claim for it. So it's not fair to not be getting the whole 2 million rand deduction as if you were just living in your home and not doing business in your home. Honestly, in the past, which the ones that I've seen, it's normally a drop in the ocean depending on how big your home office is. I mean, if you're using, like, say for instance 10% or 15% of your whole house as a home office, it's not that big of a difference. Normally it doesn't make it that much of a difference when you're selling the house. But then if you have a person that's like using like 50%, which I find would be very odd, that a person has a home office that is 50% of their house. I've never seen that before, but if that is the case, then it would make a huge difference when you are selling your home. So that's something to keep in mind when you decide whether or not you want to claim for home office. So that's something to think about it. That's something to consider whether when you decide to claim for home office expenses or not. Something else that's very important is to make sure that whatever you claim for, you can prove, because chances are SARS will ask for proof. They normally do when it comes to home office expenses, because they want to make sure that they're not just dishing out refunds to people that are not supposed to be getting them. So whatever expense that you claim for, you need to make sure that you have an invoice somewhere, or it is somewhere on your bank statement, and so just make sure that those things, you've got some kind of proof for SARS when they ask for proof, if you are unfortunately being audited or verified. So that's very important. That's it for this one. Guys, check out the rest of the channel, and also please just like the video. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to subscribe, but just like the video. It ensures that other people also get to see the video. The more you like, the more they show the video to more people. So apparently that's how it works. So please like the video, comment, ask me something. Oh yeah, guys, yes, on that, okay, I will put my email on the comment section or the description section. Guys, I dish out a lot of quality information about taxes and stuff like that. When you start asking me your personal stuff, that normally requires a consultation, because now I'm taking time out of my work in order to answer your personal income tax question. I'm happy to answer generally, which is what I'm doing here. When I share information, I share general information. It's not advice. But if you have a personal matter that you want me to deal with, then I will need you to consult. So use my email, I'll send you my fees, but I can't answer your personal information. That's not fair for me, number one. Two, it's not fair for my clients who are paying. So please, let's just keep that in mind. Also, most of the questions that people ask me, I've already answered I have 40+ videos here on this channel. Please check them out. And yeah, thank you for watching up until now. We'll see you on my next video.